Tell me something. If she was listening to you right now.
Yeah.
She probably is. What would you tell her?
I would tell her that I love her so much. You know, I look like her, so she gave me the looks and the beauty, and I would just wish to be close with her, you know. Yeah. For the longest time, I used to be bitter with her, but right now, I love her so much. I realized if I wasn't born by her, I wouldn't be the pretty Brightstar that I am. So, I mean, she might not have given me anything else, but she gave me life, and she didn't abort me, or even if she tried and it didn't work, she loves me. I mean, she let me live, and I look like her, and I'm so grateful to her. So, for the gift of beauty, at least I will have very beautiful children thanks to her. So, I love her so much, and someday I hope to have a mother reunion, you know.
Did you listen to the Hot Breakfast this morning?
Here's what you missed.
A story a day.
That's right, a story a day. And today you want to listen to this Brightstar. I mean, she's such a bright star. That's her name.
Yes, sir. Maybe you can tell us, Brightstar, how did this name come about? I know you've asked... who do you live with? Who raised you? Your grandma?
My grandparents, yes.
Is she the one who give you the name, or...?
No, my teacher did.
Your teacher?
Oh, you went to school without a name and then you came home back?
I had a name. It's just that I didn't have an English name. Oh. So I only had two names. My name, Kasyoka, and my mom's name. Oh. So my teacher used to tell me my name should be Brightstar because I'm a bright child. I was the youngest in our class and I was very bright.
Oh, yeah?
So when I went to high school, my classmates started asking me my English name and I told them I don't have an English name. But my teacher used to call me Brightstar. Then it is stuck as a nickname.
Okay.
Then when I went to Maseno, I wasn't of age to get an ID. Then someone advised me, you're lucky, you can still do baptism and then get this name to be your name.
Oh, that's
so now it's my official name.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was your teacher's name?
She was called Mrs.
Star, maybe, and then now.
No, no. I'm trying to remember her name. She was my English teacher, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she chose the right name. Yes. Chose the right name. You're such a bright star. And, okay, so you said there's a story where it says you forgave your mother for rejecting you.
Yes.
Go on.
My mom got me when she was not ready. She was a teen, and so I think it was a little bit difficult for her to accept me. And so she left me when I was 3 months, and I think she was just leaving because the environment was not right. You know, when a kid or a young person gets pregnant, then the parents don't take it well. And I have a very strict grandfather, so I tend to assume my grandfather didn't make it easy for her. When she left, my grandparents took care of me. She came back sometime, but we've never had like that relationship. And I used to be so bitter because when I was a kid, I had an accident and my hand got a problem. So I felt if she was there, probably she would have followed up on it, and she was not there. And so I grew up very bitter with her. But as I grow up, right now I stay by myself, and when I moved to stay by myself, I've hosted several girls in my house, and I got to understand how pregnancy is. It's not easy, you know. The boyfriend might abandon you. Your parents don't want anything to do with you. And so through the life of other girls who were pregnant, I got to see why my mom didn't want me. I was like, even if I got pregnant when I was young, probably I wouldn't want that baby. So I got to understand the pain that she was through, and I was able to forgive and heal. But it took a long time for me to look at life from my own angle, you know, my own angle, and to understand her.
Now, when you say your mom left, how long was she gone before she came back?
For quite some time, for some years.
5, 10.
She came back when I was already in school, and she found already my hand had a problem already. So it was quite some time.
Is she back in your life now?
She is in my grandma's life. Like right now she's with my grandparents as we talk. But for me and her, we don't even have conversations.
Wow.
I tried having conversations with her about a year ago, and I realized I had healed, but she has not healed. So she hadn't healed herself. So I'm giving her some time to come into terms with that.
How old are you?
I turned 23. I'm 23 and some days old.
How many years do you need your mom needs for healing?
No.
You've given her 23 years, she still wants more. Hey, no, mama, I go be.
No, but the thing is, you see, for me, I've been lucky. I got education. I got people who are supporting me. The healing has not been easy.
Yeah.
I've been healing since I was in first year. You know, I would break down. I go home. I had a mom who was taking care of me. So I would go talk to her. I tell her I'm going through this and this. So it has taken some time, like almost Since first year, that's almost 7 years. And if I didn't have people who were patient with me, and let's say I got pregnant in the process, I don't think I would have healed. So you see, for my mom, she's never gotten that chance. I think healing takes a lot of time. It takes people supporting you, counseling and therapy and stuff like that. Something that she's never had.
Tell me something. If she was listening to you right now,
Yeah.
she probably is. What would you tell her?
I would tell her that I love her so much. You know, I look like her, so she gave me the looks and the beauty, and I would just wish to be close with her, you know. For the longest time, I used to be bitter with her, but right now, I love her so much. I realize if I wasn't born by her, I wouldn't be the pretty bright star that I am. So, I mean, she might not have given me anything else, but she gave me life, and she didn't abort me, or even if she tried and it didn't work, she loves me. I mean, she let me live, and I look like her, and I'm so grateful to her. So, for the gift of beauty, at least I will have very beautiful children thanks to her. So, I love her so much, and someday I hope to have a mother reunion, you know.
How is your grandfather? Is he still alive?
Yeah, he is.
Is he still a
Sorry, I don't want to get emotional. It's been long since I got emotional.
Go ahead.
Let it rip.
Brightstar. Just
If the
open
tears
up.
flow, you just let them flow.
Up.
In fact, Tosh, can you organize some tissues?
No, I try as much as possible not to talk about my mom because I don't like revisiting that story over and over. Yeah.
Sure.
So what I'll do, you remember when you talk about the young girls who came to your house that you housed them?
Yeah.
Maybe now, can you talk to parents right now? Because, you know, if your mom and dad reject you, what it does to a girl, because I know you've talked to those girls. What do they go through? How do they feel about it?
I think it's every parent's joy for them to have their child, you know, go to school, you know, go through the right procedures, get married, you know, get a job and all that. But if your child happens to mess up and maybe they get pregnant when they're not ready, I think the best thing you can do as a parent is to support them. It's to be there for them. And I know we live in a society where people are worried about their image, but your child's sanity is more important than anything. And if you don't take care of that child, probably they'll also affect your grandchild, the kid that will come. So if you're a parent out there and your kids happen to get pregnant, please be supportive of them.
And getting pregnant isn't the end of the world.
It's not. I mean, they might give birth to a bright star. You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Tell me something. What is it that has helped you overcome what you have gone through? Because obviously you've gone through a lot. How did you overcome that?
I think since I was a young child, I would look at my grandfather's life. He used to be a watchman back then, and I wanted a better life for him. I used to look at my grandfather and this man is not like lively anymore. You see, my mom was his last born, so all his hopes were in my mom. And then it happened the way it did, so he sort of like kind of gave up on life, and I didn't want my grandfather to give up. So I made a promise to myself when I was a child that I was going to work so hard and give them a good life.
But do you feel like that's a lot of pressure on a child?
No, I feel because it's me who chose. They didn't tell me, you know, so it was me who saw. You know, sometimes there's a difference between being told to do this and you deciding. So for me, I decided since I was young, I was going to give my family a better life. So every time I look at them and I remember how far we've come from, it keeps me going because I know I have to give them the life that they deserve.
So now you and your grandfather are tight. Is he still working?
We are very close. No, he's not working. I retired him when I was in campus. Because when I was in campus, I was elected as a student leader and I started getting paid. So that money, I used it to retire him. That was the first thing I did in life with my money.
All of it?
Yeah.
A good portion.
Yeah, a good portion of it. He didn't need much. He was being paid 3,000. So you can imagine, he didn't need much for him to stay at home. So now he doesn't work. Even my grandmother, I take care of them fully.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're inspiring a lot of people. You also do that on Facebook, don't you?
Yes, I do. I do a lot of writings.
Yeah.
I started at the time of COVID. I mean, the business was collapsing. Everything was just not working. And I got to think about the many times I felt like hopeless. So I was like, how many people out here are feeling hopeless? So I started just doing short videos and writing. I didn't know it was going to be big. But right now it has almost 60,000 followers.
Whoa.
So people love my videos and they share them. But I was just doing it to encourage myself, but I was doing it publicly and people didn't know and they shared it. And yeah.
What would you talk about? What are some of the subjects you talk about?
Business, my business journey, the challenges I face in business every day, you know, like capital and all that. I also talk about my personal life and my aspirations and how I've been able to overcome some of the things. I talk about self-acceptance because that's something I've struggled with for quite a while. This is the time I'm even trying to accept myself fully. So I talk about just general, but I talk personal experiences mostly.
You know, because of that business one is normally very important because a lot of people start businesses. And scientifically, they say like most businesses, like maybe 75% don't pass the 6-month mark. You know?
Yeah.
So to anyone who's starting a business right now, and I feel like based on talking to people, most businesses have to go to that dark period where you're feeling hopeless and stocks are running out, money is not coming through. Because right after that, I think that's when it peaks. But you have to pity some of the bumps. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's not. If you want to start a business, just know it's not easy. I get a lot of DMs from all over, from young people. You know, I want to start a business. I want to be like you. But the reality on the ground is 90% of the time you're depressed. 90% of the time before your business picks up, you're depressed. I've had to get into a lot of loans. You know, I mean, there was a time I had loans from all my friends. You know, you can't even pick new numbers because you don't know who is looking for you. You know, I call my clients. They don't know me. I ask them for loans because either way, the business needs to survive, and I need to pay rent, and I don't have rent. We've been, sent like almost 10 letters by auctioneers. You know,
Oh my God.
But you look around, you're like, what exactly can they really sell here apart from me?
And you wonder what are
And you
these
can't sell
auctioneers
too much.
coming to auction really? I mean, even if they auction, they won't get their money back, but you will lose your business. So it has been a bumpy journey. Like, yeah.
But you take it so well. I mean, your sense of humor is just.
I think the greatest strength I have is I let myself be vulnerable. So I will cry. If things don't work out, I can even go missing for 1 week. I will cry and stay in the house and, cry and cry and cry. But then when I rise up, I don't let myself stick there. So I always, most people always holding on, not trying to feel vulnerable, not trying to show that they're going through stuff. But for me, I let myself feel it. And once you let yourself feel something, trust you me, you'll be ready to face the next phase of life. Yeah.
If someone is listening to you for the very first time, Brightstar, what kind of business are you in? People want to know, what is this business you're in? Tell us.
Okay, so I run Star Tailored Designs. We custom make suits, African wear, casual wear, and even right now we are venturing into Ankara and ladies wear. So it's suits, our major client basis, suits people. So we do suits from scratch, tailored. Yeah.
And how is business?
I can say now business is getting on well. It hasn't been easy. I mean, when COVID came, all our weddings were cancelled, all our orders, events were not there, and we are relying on events and all that. So for some time, we even did masks. We tried to do masks for corporates. So we were trying to diversify, started branding hoodies and jumpers. You're trying to look at what is not in the market. And I mean, what can people use when they're at home? So you see it's masks and hoodies and jumpers, so you brand them. So, but right now, I think it's picking up. It's not yet back to the standards it used to be before COVID, but now it's picking up. Getting orders here and here, and we thank God, and we're sure things will get back on track.
I hope you jumped onto the mask bandwagon when masks were still 7,000 each. You remember those days?
The early days.
We were branding, like tailoring them.
From scratch.
Not importing.
Right.
So tailoring them, like maybe a company wants a branded mask. So we did them, but now the problem with most corporates, they have to give you the order first and then they pay you. So we also got into loans trying to get money to do the production. And now when you get into loans, then again the interest. So by the time you get paid, you don't have money. So it was.
So you're used to being broke, sort of, in a nutshell.
Very broke. Very broke. But I'm out here inspiring people and going on,
Yeah, and then also during COVID, people staying at home. Even laundries were affected. Suits are not being worn.
Yep.
It's only Jeff Koinange who's wearing a suit.
I even tried reaching him and asking him, can you please host me in JKL Live? And I knew he couldn't see the message because he gets a lot of DMs.
Jeff's inbox is normally full. People want, to make them MCAs, MPs, governors. Then there's a young lady talking about suits.
Yeah.
Surely.
But you have such a good attitude, Brightstar. Honestly, such an amazing attitude.
Thank you. Thank you.
You never gave up.
And I will not give up. until I be in Forbes.
Forbes, F-O-R-B-S, I'm F-O-B-S.
F-O-R-B-S, Forbes. You don't believe I'll be in Forbes?
No. You can be anything in the world. You can be anything in the world.
And when I get into Forbes, I'll call you for coffee.
Oh, I'll accept. I like coffee, actually. Right before we take a beer.
It will take you a lot of time to convince me to take a beer.
Well, the lessons are free on Fridays. So, Brightstar, tell us. Obviously, you've gone through all these things, and then you're trying to get your route through in life. You're doing the suits. You said it's called Star Tailors.
Yeah, Star Tailored Designs.
Star Tailored Design.
Yes.
So even on Facebook, where are you advertising it on?
Facebook and Instagram.
Star Tailored Designs.
Yes.
All right. So what's the future? What would you like? Besides being on Forbes, where do you see yourself in, like, what would you like for yourself in 2-3 years? Let's say next year, but one.
Next year, but one I would want to be. I think I'm very strong when it comes to brand advertising. I'm a very good sales and marketing person, so I would also want to advertise for other brands, not just my suits business. But then when it comes to my business, I would want to have a business that is very reputable, in terms of timely delivery, customer service, and be addressing not just Kenyans but people outside the country. And I think from sharing my stories in Facebook and all over, I've gotten clients even from US. So I think I've started going, I would want to be an international brand where everyone knows they can get a quality tailored outfit from Star Tailored Designs, and have several branches, not just the one that I have, open several branches all over the country. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. And she's only 23.
What were you doing when you were 23?
I had no idea. I'm telling you.
Oh, man, that's a lot of pressure on yourself. Because when I was 23, I had no focus in life.
Zero.
Watch how you have a business making suits.
Can you imagine?
But I still feel like I missed the chance of being a baby. When you look at me and most of my age mates, I'm way far ahead in terms of my thinking. And how that has affected me is I don't even know how to think about not serious stuff.
That must be because of hanging out with your grandma all the time.
I'm always thinking about serious stuff. When I'm with him, like my best friend, with my friends, I'm talking about serious stuff. The business, I don't even know how to have just simple conversations. So in one way or the other, it's a good thing, but I think I didn't get a chance of being a baby. So I hope it doesn't affect my future in any way or the other. Yeah.
So do you have like a release? Because everyone has a little child in them. Is there something you playfully do during your free time to just get that inner child out?
To release, yeah.
I write a lot.
Because Jeff likes blowing balloons during his free time. His inner child coming out. It's hard to see him doing it, but for birthdays.
My free time, I write and read a lot. I read a lot of books. And I also take care of my cats. I have cats in the house.
Oh, how many?
8.
What? 8 cats.
Do they have names?
Yeah, some of them. The small kittens don't have names yet.
8 cats.
That's a lot of cats.
The cat lady from where do you live?
The mother is called Peace.
Oh,
because she came in my life the first day that I started the business, and I was a mental mess. But she gave me some peace and stability. I had something to take care of, and it gave me some focus. So I see her and I see my peace.
So you just sit there, and then this kitten passes by, and then
the challenge is when they decide to play at night, so you can't sleep because they'll run all over the house, and I have a small house, so you'll be but they'll run and run until they get tired, and then you sleep. Yeah.
Wow. What a story.
So now someone's cat is missing and it's in your house, basically, is what you're saying.
No, I only got one cat and he gave birth.
Oh.
Yeah.
Peace gave birth to all the others. To pieces. So listen, Brightstar, there's a lot of young people out there who feel hopeless, especially during this time of COVID. A lot of mental health issues. A lot of people feel like giving up. What do you tell them?
I tell them that life is not a straight path. I'm sure even you, Jeff, even you, Nick, you have your own challenges. They might not just be to do with finances anymore,
Thank
but
you
you
for
have your
mentioning
challenges.
it. Let me also open up now.
I know you have your own challenges. They might not be all out here, but everyone has their own unique challenges.
Yeah.
And once you realize that about life, you stop being too hard on yourself. You know, when I was starting over, I would DM like people like Jeff, and I see they're not responding. I would be very like, he didn't respond. But now the more I've grown, the more I have so many DMs, I can't even respond to them. So the more I've grown, the more I've understood that people have different challenges in life. And when you understand that, you will understand how unique your challenges are to you. And when I look back at my life, if I didn't go through all those challenges, I probably wouldn't be the Brightstar I am today. So I think sometimes you have just to reflect and see, how is this challenge building me? I think for me, I look at things like that. I had a privilege of living with a mom who was very godly for 4 years when I was in campus. And she would have a headache and then she's like, who didn't I send money? Or what didn't I do? What is God telling me? She's having a headache. But she would always look at life from that angle of, what is this pain telling me? So if you have a way of looking at what is my pain telling me, then you will be propelled by challenges instead of them breaking you down. Yeah.
You know, we have a listener. Her name is Wanja, Mama. What we call her Mama Ethan.
Yes.
She was running a business here in Nairobi, and probably things didn't go very well. She's now in Dubai, you know, trying to do business. And she's just tweeted. She says, very encouraging there by Brightstar. There's nothing as depressing as waking up every day to go to your business and facing losses. I'm sure you exactly what you were telling us. So she says she has a lot of respect to you and all businessmen and women.
Thank you so much. I totally understand her, because sometimes you live and go to town because you can't stay in the house so that you don't get depressed 10 times. But you go to town and you don't go to the office because you don't know which auctioneer is coming or who person is coming to look for their money. You know, it's very depressing. You want to switch off your phone, but again, you're hoping a client will call. So it's it's a life of, but that's a life. I think no wonder business people are glorified when they make it, because it's not an easy journey. Every journey that is not easy, once you make it, it becomes an inspiration. So it's not an easy journey, but it's worth it. I mean, yeah.
Wow. The auctioneers might be calling. That next call could be them.
In fact, someone has texted me, ambia umstara tunamgoja pa Dennis Spring. No, I'm playing.
No, right now I don't think there's.
Now things are looking up, yeah?
Things are looking up. I'm still paying the debt, so I'm good right now. At least I pick calls.
What would you tell people? You know, because a lot of people will go through stuff, then they also hang out with someone else who's going through similar stuff, and then... kidogo the auctioneers are like, hata tulikuwa na watafuta nyinyi wanne.
Now that's my story. He is my best friend, and we were hanging out together, and we are both in debt. So imagine,
that's how you
no one can help them. No. He is a person who told me about the business. For him, he started doing it long time ago. It's just that I became a better student. But we would have the same problems. You know, he's worried about money. I'm worried about money. And I think it's the most difficult things. You need to have a friend who is, you know, sober and you can have conversation and help each other. But I think also going through it together, you can always think through solutions together. So if you have a friend who is going through something, but you have to be very careful not to be toxic to each other. Because what happens when people are going through several challenges, they either turn to alcohol, they turn to things that doesn't reflect who they are at the moment, because they're trying to run away from the reality of what is happening. So if you're going through stuff together, you just try not to be toxic to each other, because it's very possible. And you also consider the other person and try to think through solutions. And don't give up, because if one of you gives up, it affects the other person emotionally.
And then kidogo you go
down, both of you.
I've heard people normally saying that, like, if once we're going through something, they'll say, sasa Jeff, unajua labda kuna mtu alikanyaga kivuli yetu. And then now you just sit there, they're telling each other that someone stepped on your shadow, somewhere in Kiamba, maybe in Kisumu, and we look for that person. Kidogo, we are 100 years, we haven't done anything. You know what I mean?
And then in that 2 people or 3, one of you has to have a very strong faith, like someone who doesn't give up, because there's always that one person who gives up every time.
Is it him?
So there's always that one person who gives. So you have to be that person who doesn't give up, because if both of you are giving up, then you will go down.
So who keeps who strong here? Who is the strong one?
I think business-wise, I think I'm the strong one. Emotional-wise, he grew up in a stable family. And I think he has that love, so he is more stable. For me, emotional-wise, I'm a little bit delicate.
What's his name?
Samuel.
Samuel.
Yes.
He grew up in a loving family, so does he love you?
No, he has a very loving mom and dad. So I think they spread the love to him. Yeah, but emotion-wise, he's very stable. Business-wise, when it comes to the future,
Yes.
hoping things will work out, I'm the strong one.
Because of what you've been through, of course.
I see they've avoided my question, so let me rephrase it. Do you see Star Taylor Design making a wedding outfit for the two of you? And I saw you were part of Miss President.
Yeah, Miss President.
Reality show.
Yes.
How was that? What was that about? Do you have hopes or ambitions in representing people?
Yes, I'll be Kenya's first president. I mean, female president someday. So Miss President was a reality show.
Yeah.
It was about leadership. So it was trying to, make women relate to, they can be president. So it was a very eye-opening show. Before I went to Miss President, I actually wanted to run in 2022. But I went to Miss President and I met amazing women who I looked at their lives, I learned something from them. And when I was leaving Miss President, one thing was clear, I was not running in 2022, I was going to build my brand first. So being in Miss President gave me that, I learned a lot. There was trainings, there was elimination, and I was their youngest participant. And so I was taken like a baby, and trained. And this season 2 coming, I think I'll try it again until I become Miss President. But it was a leadership training show. I have attended a lot of leadership, not just Miss President. Why? Because I believe even if I'll have to be a president someday, I cannot wake up one day decide to be president. I have to invest in that journey. So I may not be exactly president, but I will be a president in a particular field. So I believe a lot in personal development and investing in myself, and especially right now, and especially when young, because we're only young ones. And I think as a young person, I have more opportunities before kids start coming my way and I become very busy. So I try to invest a lot of my time in personal development so that by the time I get into a leadership position, then I'm ready for it.
What are the things you would change in this country?
I would want to invest in financing young people's dreams, because I've reached out to so many people trying to look for funds, for loans, and they wouldn't believe in my vision. They're like, most businesses fail after 2 years or something. You go get employed first and then, you start a business. But I mean, right now being in the business world, I've gotten a lot of young people reaching out to me with businesses ideas. So I would at least set some funds aside to just give them without interest. I would want to invest in the particular ideas. I mean, give them incubation, training for some time so that their business is done. Because I believe the future is, and then we've gone online, the future is business. And there are so many people who have ideas, but they don't know where to begin. So that's one area, whether I become president or not, but I become somewhere. Even right now, I try to do it. I mean, there are people who reach out, they just need 10,000 for business. So I will try help if I have it. So I want to do that full time as I grow bigger.
Uko na 20,000 kuna biashara ninataka kuanza Saturday.
Nione kando.
Safari.
Kama uko na pesa ya kupea vijana, utupatie kwanza sisi.
No, but that's something I would want to invest in. I feel even when you go to the bank, they need security most of the time, or they need you to have been in business for some months, or you have like statements. Most young people don't have that, but they have a vision, so I would want to invest in that. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well done. Right now.
Talk to people who are still in bed now saying, hey.
Leo, sasa nitafanyaje?
They look outside the window, you're like, let me just close the curtains. Okay, let me close the door, and let me cover myself with the duvet. Talk to those people right now.
No one will ever come to save you if you are sleeping. Like, no one is coming
Say
to
that
save
again,
you.
sister. Nobody will do what?
No one will come to save you if
From
you are in the
what?
house. If you are sleeping, you have to get out here. I mean, even all those opportunities that have found me, I was out here. I was looking for them. You have to be out here looking for opportunities for them to find you. And I think the moment you give up and you stay in the house, the only thing you can do is cry and break down and, be sad. But it will not solve anything. You'll just have a headache and cry. cry and sleep again. But once you start getting out, go out and get any job. I mean, it could be cleaning. It could be any kind of job. When I started the business, I didn't plan to be in business. I used to think I'll be a philanthropist, and I couldn't save money for business, so I couldn't be in business. But I got up one day and I went and told him, I know you're in this industry, I want you to teach me. I cried and there was no solution. So I had to go somewhere and learn. You know, he had been trying to call me every time, you know, come I teach you the business, come I teach you the business. But I wasn't going because I hadn't decided to go. But the day I decided to go is the day I learned that I could be a very good salesperson. So get out, please get out. Don't sleep in the house. Do that CV. Keep on trying. Keep on. I've been rejected. I've received so many no's. I mean, for me, I'm this person who will go online, get politicians number, call them. I'm like, hey, I have this business. Most of them don't even pick. They will reject you. But I get rejected almost every day. But in those rejections, I will find one yes. You know, I can get 1,000 rejections, but there's one yes that will help me push for the next, like 1 month or something. So once you keep trying, there's always that one yes that will come. But yeses are very hard to come, so you have to keep on trying and don't give up. And then again, even it doesn't matter the family you came from. I mean, your family is not their responsibility for them to give you the life. Your dad, your mom might have messed up, but what are you doing about your life, you know? So I try not to look at my life from the angle of what did my parents do and what can I do for them. Once you're 18, I mean, it's your life responsibility for you to build your life. And I think most people, the reason why they don't even get out is that they are very, you know, they're very bitter with their families. You know, they feel they didn't give them the life that they deserved. But what are you doing now? I mean, so don't look at your family or where you come from or the opportunities are not available. Just look at what do you have and what can you do with what you have. And start from somewhere. Yeah.
You've spoken like Jeff Lastel. That wisdom is for a 56-year-old.
Not a 23-year-old.
23-year-old. You are very wise. If there was an award,
Yes.
we would have given you back.
Hands down. Hands down.
I saw a picture of you with DP Ruto.
Yes.
What was that about? What was going on?
You see, after Miss President, I went through a moment of like self-reflection, so I temporarily didn't participate in any leadership event. And there was a lady we were with in Miss President, she's called Daisy. It's Daisy who called me. She was like, Brightstar, I know you are leadership potential. I want you to come, you know, in this, we do this, and then we go meet the DP. And I am not the person to say no to opportunities. Before that, actually, I had tried looking for ways to reach the DP because I felt he could finance my business when I was very broke. So I tried to, you know, write emails, go to Arambe House. I was looking for anyone who I know can help. And I didn't succeed. So I had actually given up. And then I was like, this is an opportunity. And I always say yes to opportunities before I think through them. So for Daisy, I was like, I'm not even sure what, I mean, you know, maybe party I want to be. I'm not sure about so many things right now. My mental health has been delicate and I'm focusing on healing first. But I'm saying yes. So we went and we met the DP, and the one thing he did is that he greeted me with his left hand. And I just told him I'm left hand. You know, when I was going to greet him, I'm left hand. And he's like, you're left hand? Oh, okay. Then he gave me his left hand. I felt so understood at that moment. You know, most of the time, whenever I would tell people I'm left hand, they would ask questions. And at that time, my mental health was delicate, so I would break down. But for him, he didn't even have to ask, why are you left hand? He just gave me the left hand. I was like, yay! He gave me the left hand. Even our photo is, we are shaking hands in left hand. But it's because an opportunity came my way, and I said yes to it, and I ended up meeting him. And he is amazing, you know.
He's amazing.
He is. Yeah.
So tell me, Madam President, how much time do you give yourself to run for president? How much time? This next election, the one after, which one?
I'm 23 when I'll be around 37.
At least me and Jeff will have finished our term.
Because you're running in 27.
27 to 32?
37 or 42 there. Then I think I will have, you know, build a strong brand and influence people. I believe leadership is about influence. Even when I'm not in a leadership position, I will still influence people, and I believe I'm still a leader. But running for that will come later. Maybe I can start maybe with MP with time, but for president, that's time.
Well, you know what? You have a bright future ahead of you, Brightstar Kasyoka. Congratulations. And Star Tailored Designs is the name. Check it out on Facebook and all social media channels, platforms. And I tell you, What a story. You will be great one day, Brightstar.
Thank
And you're bright already. You're already great.
Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and may everything that you want in this life come through for you.
Thank you so much for hosting me. I mean, this was a very big opportunity for me, and I appreciate. At least I ended up meeting you, Jeff, and I mean, I was like, things happen when God decides it's time for them to happen.
Apple edit kidogo. It's to you, Jeff.
No, I
and
meant
me.
okay.
And action.
I ended up meeting Nick and Jeff.
That's more like it.
No, I was coming to you. I ended up meeting you. So thank you for reaching out to
Thank
me
you.
and
Thank
hosting
you.
me.
Thank you.
Yeah.